Welcome again to the ultimate HBCU experience. I go by DJ Curly Soul. Taking you on the journey of an HBCU party right here, okay? So tell me the other shots on fun. Here we go, here we go. On your damn street, jumping, bumping, every car I play this day I play. Throwing the balls up at these primitive bleeding from they know the when we start, this where we make them. This the flow, ain't no game up in this thing. We be deep up in your party, come on, get it started. Ain't no be the hardest thing. If a come and run they matches like a punch them dead up in this, no, this stuff is. For my ladies, what we say? Okay, let's go.
I've been moving calm, don't start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6.
Get a belt to this song right here.
You know how I like it when you love
turn it up.
I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the things that they wishing on me. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me. They gon' tell the story was different with me. God's plan, God's plan. I hold back sometimes I won't. Yeah. I feel good sometimes I don't. Hey. I finesse down Western Road. Hey.
Cause it's about
I go down in T.O.B. Hey. I go hard on Southside G. Hey. I make sure that Northside eat. And still. Bad
I got one for y'all.
It's a lot of bad things that they wish and
Down. What she say?
Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and that's why I'm moving.
Welcome to the HBCU Ultimate Experience Party Show. I go by DJ Curly Soul.
Give me lit. Gun on my head. 1.5. Set in the clip. Baby, don't trip. Slow your tone. Cause you can get hit. Come on, my sister. I get your body. Next day I forget it. Just go to body. And listen again. We just with them.
Come on. Tell me your come on.
Cash on me, I got hit the lottery. Those are chill, watch on how they follow me. Honey's blue, yeah, I got them all on me. Go, let's go. Got a shoe, yeah, I keep a style on me. Pretty freeze, make them bitches pile on me. I swear, wet party, I got 30 down on me right now. Go.
Let's go.
To my cake, all these bitches want a piece. Send it racks, I threw 10 on top my teeth. Diamond choke, VVS, I can't breathe. Go.
Let's go.
Ma, don't stop.
Don't mop it up.
Hey, Ma, don't stop. Ma,
I get it crunk, I get it wide, I get the party lit outside. I get it crunk, I get it wide, I get the party lit outside. I get it crunk,
Cause it's fine.
I get it crunk, I get it wide, I get the party lit outside.
Left hand first, put your right hand on top. Mom, yeah, mom. Now put your right hand on top. Mom.
Don't mop it up.
Where you at? Am I riding? Catch a play, we pulled up in a photo. And my shirt is just a polo. Baby girl flash me like a photo. And I'm on my green like a damn lawnmower. Hey, rush it, like sunny, hit a play.
Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ultimate HBCU Experience. My name is Juwan Jones, a proud graduate of the North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina.
And I'm Brittany Lassiter from the Hampton University Standard of Excellence.
Oh, wait a minute. And I'm Tracy Wright. And hey, I'm a proud graduate of South Carolina State University. Love my Bulldogs.
Well, I'm Ricky Leathers, a graduate of North Carolina A&T State University. Aggie pride to all my Aggies out there.
And as you see, we have proud alums up here from historically black colleges and universities, and we have an exciting day for you today. We have a chance for you to interact with our panelists in our discussions through our group chats. You can also use your telephone to introduce yourself and talk about what schools you're interested in. We have opportunities for you to talk to college admissions counselors, athletic coaches, and those kind of things. So we have a full exciting day for you today.
But before we go on, we can't forget to thank our generous sponsors, AmeriGroup, the Prince George's County Health Department, and Claire Sports and Apparel.
And to kick us off, we're going to kick you over to our wonderful Division Chief of Southern Area Operations, Kelly Beavers.
Good morning. My name is Kelly Beavers, Division Chief with the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County, and I'm so excited to be here with you because I too am a proud Bison. I'm a graduate of the Howard University, the Mecca. Today's event is going to be so exciting. Learning about HBCUs and what the opportunities are. This is for you. This is your time to find out what the epitome of diversity, equity, and inclusion looks like. So many opportunities, excellence in higher education. We have a wonderful program here for you today. And just like this program, we have more of these types of programs in the Department of Parks and Recreation. Check us out on www.pgparks.com. And for our pep rally kickoff, we have none other than the one and only Angie. Ange.
Hey, can I get a HU? You know, come on, Bison representing. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in. I mean, since if we're gonna shout out Howard University, we might as well do it right now. Angie Ayers checking in with you, and he didn't go to Howard, but you know,
VSU baby, VSU
still
baby,
represents
Trojan land.
This is my man right here, yo, J Rock. I bet it buzz. Got a serial entrepreneur, man.
You're going crazy.
It is so good to see you. You know, in this pandemic, I don't get to see a lot of people. Like, I literally have been staying away, even doing this event, right? You know, when I found out we were going to come together, I was excited. And now here we are with the mask on. I mean, can you hear me okay or not? Hopefully you can. But yeah, we're going to have some fun, man. It's exciting to be able to represent HBCUs and give you a taste of the HBCU experience. First and foremost, I want to shout out my girl, DJ Curly Sue. You just saw her do her thing. Shout outs to Curly Sue, representing for that BSU, one time for Bowie State University. We also want to give a big thank you today to our program sponsor, AmeriGroup. We want to say thank you to AmeriGroup, Prince George's County Health Department. Thank y'all so much for helping out, and Player Sports and Apparel LLC. So now that we got that out the way, J. Rob.
Hold on. Before we get started, though, we want to know what you know. Let's interact a little bit.
Okay.
How many HBCUs can you name by heart? We want to see you type it in. Go to the chat. Text TUHBCUEXPERI 521.
Whew.
Wow. To 22333. Once again, TUHBCUEXPERI 521 to 22333 to join the conversation.
That's right. So we're trying to see how many HBCUs can you name by heart, historically black colleges and university. And I would even challenge you. I don't want to just see the typical, right? I mean, we got Howard.
Yeah, we got VSU.
You
know you're going to name VSU. You know you name Clark.
Yeah.
You know you name all those.
Who knows some of those ones that that a lot of people wouldn't even know about?
Yeah.
And that's probably something your parents got to help you with. But there are many historically black colleges and universities across the country. So we want to see how many do you know. Howard, of course, should be your number one, but you know.
If Howard's not your number one, VSU does breed entrepreneurs, man. They do breed entrepreneurs, so make sure you type in.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is an interactive experience, okay? So throughout the event, we want you to continue typing your comments, your questions in the chat. There's going to be several opportunities to win prizes through participation. So if you like to win, there we go. I see Tuskegee. I see Hampton. Hampton.
Yeah.
Let's see, y'all not gonna be
Oh,
trolling me
now
this
they
early in the morning.
instigating.
Now
They
we're not gonna,
instigating now.
y'all not
They
gonna be trolling the
instigating.
girl. Shout out to Hampton. We see Bowie State.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. Keep typing again. We've got prizes, but it's all based on your participation. All right, we see NCCU, North Carolina Central.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's get it
keep
lit.
them
Let's stay
coming.
lit, y'all. Let's
There we
stay
go,
lit.
Morgan. One time for the Morgan State Bears. Now, let's also try it out too. If you type TU HBCU in the chat, if you're ready to win some cool HBCU gear. So now that we see, okay, Arkansas, I see Arkansas State. All right, but
That's
if you
one.
want to
That's
win,
one. They got me with that one.
now, yeah. Now, if you want to win something right now, there's North Carolina A&T Aggie Pride represent. But if you're trying to win something, type TU HBCU. I said let's get your minds going early. We want to get you. I know it's a lot of people just waking up, but we want to get you going. We want to get you really into
We should
this
start
event.
it off with some jumping jacks.
We probably should.
We should.
But for now, we'll use your texting and typing ability. But if you're trying to win some cool HBCU gear, that's TU HBCU. Go ahead and type that in and let's see if we can get some winners, okay? You think they're ready, J Rock?
I think we ready.
You think you're ready? Okay. Up next, we have a message from our sponsor, and then we're going to dive into this experience, starting with the benefits of attending an HBCU. Again, for those who don't know, HBCUs are historically black colleges and universities. And just a heads up, I mean, they were created because there was a time in the United States where black people couldn't get access to education and to higher learning. And so we created our own. We built it ourselves. So the why, trying on your HBCUs, the search process, and more is about to go down. So stay tuned. Let's get to it.
Choose AmeriGroup Community Care for free or low-cost health benefits for your whole family. With AmeriGroup, you're covered for checkups and prescriptions, plus dental and vision care, even eyeglasses or contacts, all at little to no cost to you from the plan Maryland has trusted for 20 years. The choice is easy. Choose AmeriGroup for your health choice plan now at chooseamerigroup.com/MD.
How y'all doing out there? My name's J Rock from my Better Buzz, and we're gonna go over the why. Why I go to an HBCU? For me, I went to an HBCU because I knew what I wanted to do. So I went to HBCU for the market. I knew I went to VSU. I'm from DC. That's a 2-hour drive. I can fly to Atlanta in 2 hours. It's just very strategic for my business and for my network. I think the majority of the reason why you should go to an HBCU is the network and the ability to gain true power in the world and to know your power at that, so you can know your worth. Also, the difference between HBCUs and PWIs to me is the culture. They know more about your background or maybe stories you've been through, and you can relate more. Also, what HBCU is, of course, if your skin color, you got other people like you, majority that can relate and help you out, strengthen unity. Other than that, HBCUs, I think for me, VSU, they breed a lot of entrepreneurs. So at VSU, I got the chance to be myself, go to school, and work on my business at the same time, and my teachers respected it. Other than that, do you have to be black to go to a HBCU? Not at all. I had a lot of other different nationalities that was at VSU. They did a great job of bringing us all together and making sure we all felt comfortable at the HBCU. So to me, HBCU is just a great place. Gave me a lot of energy to strive and keep going and to know I wanted to do something after college. College was not just good enough. Don't just settle just for the graduate. Keep continuing, keep growing, and keep doing your business or your career job, whatever you go to school for. Just keep trying. You might not make it right the next year out of school. But you got to put that work in, like internships and different things like that, to make sure you're 100% successful at any school, HBCU, PWIs, or just in trade school, anything you go. So just always keep an open mind to it. And HBCUs, man, is a great thing. So check them out.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome back. So, what we also want to talk about is, the importance of trying on your HBCU. So, Brittany, I'm gonna ask you a question. Why do you think it's very important for someone to kind of try on their HBCU? Like, how was your experience?
So I was able to go on a Black college tour, and I had never heard of a lot of the HBCUs. I'm from Ohio, and I had actually never even heard of the school that I ended up choosing, Hampton University. And so I went on a Black college tour, and I got to visit a few different schools, and I really didn't feel like I fit in when I visited those schools, because I was kind of different. And when I went to Hampton, though, I met all types of people. They had a 12 to 2 with a DJ. It was just a really fun experience. It was a beautiful campus on the water. Everybody was friendly and welcoming, and it felt like my home by the sea. But it felt like that was my place. Like, I felt like really comfortable there.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I was a little different. I never actually had a chance to actually visit a college for like school or anything like that. Being a kid from a low income family, just that thing didn't exist. So I only attended a school not too far. It's about an hour or so away from my hometown, because I knew it had a major that I was interested in, and I liked their marching band, so that's why I went. And I didn't like it. And the number one school, the school that I was at like the bottom of my list, was in my hometown, and I was like, I'm not going there. Um, I ended up not having a good experience, and I ended up transferring to the school that was at the bottom of my list,
Wow.
and I loved it. It felt like a better fit for me, and so as I got into my career with working with teens and youth, I always talk about trying on your HBCU or trying on your school in general. I tell them all the time, you don't go into a store and try on like just buy the J's off the shelf. You try them on, you walk around in them, kind of see if they fit. Make sure they're the right ones. They may look good on the shelf, but they might not be for you. And so use that same concept when you're looking at schools or anything that you're interested in. Like really try it on first to make sure that's the right thing for you. There are a lot of ways that you can do that. I even tell kids, go not just at open house day, because university, especially HBCUs, we sell up open
They'll trick
house.
you. They'll
Yeah,
trick you.
we make it like it's the best thing ever.
Hmm.
So really go like not just on a football game day or a basketball game, just go on a regular day if you can. Talk to other people and just kind of see what it's like, get their experience. Just to kind of give you some insight. Research it yourself. That's usually the best key, is kind of look at that, and then that way you kind of really get a gauge. But it's also okay for you to go to another school. You thought it was for you, and you get there for a while and you're just not happy, whether you're homesick or it's just not what you thought it was, and it's okay to transfer too.
Right.
Don't feel like I gotta stick with this because this is why I said I came. But it's really important for you, to kind of go through that. So have you ever talked to any of your friends who absolutely love theirs from the jump, as soon as they got on campus, or did they have to kind of do the same thing?
Yeah, I think a lot of my friends that chose HBCUs, like my best friend, she chose her HBCU like immediately. She was like me. She knew immediately. But then I remember some of my other friends, they just, like you said, they didn't get time. They just went. Their experience was completely different, and they didn't end up liking it, because they didn't get to really see if it fit them, the culture fit them, the people. Because even though it's all Black people, it doesn't mean that you will automatically feel like you fit in there.
Yeah.
So I think what you're saying is 100% right. Like, you have to try it a few times if you can, talk to people, see what it's like on the campus before you actually choose that school?
Yeah, I also tell friends and kids all the time. HBCUs mentioned earlier how HBCU is like a whole new world. It's a small city like any
Mm-hmm.
college, but it also allows you to develop and kind of see some things. And so, like, I have friends who were in school for something else, but they like to promote parties and that kind of deal. So they end up changing their major and using their better skill set, their hobby, into a career.
Right.
And I think going to a HBCU allowed them to do that.
Right.
I have friends who, learn how to survive going to a HBCU
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of deal. So I think it really exposed them to the opportunities that is so much broader. And I think that's just something that you don't get anywhere else other than a HBCU. And so, that's why I think it's very important for people to really try on their HBCU and kind of see what it fits for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, and now we're going to go to Dr. Stevie.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry that I had some technical difficulties. I use Teams every day and my camera was not working this morning, but I'm glad to be with you, Stevie Lawrence. I'm an alumnus of 3 HBCUs, North Carolina A&T State University undergrad, North Carolina Central University, where I earned my master's degree, and Jackson State University, where I earned my PhD. So why historically Black colleges and universities? Historically Black colleges and universities are so important. They date back over 150 years. The first HBCU was founded in 1837. 1837, Cheney University. These universities are powerhouses. They impact the country at a phenomenal rate. But let's say this, many often wonder, can you go to a historically Black college or university if you're not African American? The answer to that question is most certainly. HBCUs are the most welcoming places. Often people wonder, will I have an opportunity to have a diverse and rich experience as a student at a historically Black college or university? And the answer to that question is yes, you will have a rich and diverse experience. Diversity is not always in the form of race or ethnicity. It can be from backgrounds. It can be from different neighborhoods, different cities, towns, regions, countries. As an undergraduate student at North Carolina A&T State University, I met some of the most phenomenal, inspiring people that opened my eyes to the world. So it is a experience, an experience that one would treasure for a lifetime. Just a couple of quick facts about historically Black colleges and universities. These universities contribute $14.8 billion to the economic vitality of the country. Keep that in your head. They provide 134,000 jobs across the United States. And over a lifetime, collectively, HBCU graduates will earn $130 billion. $130 billion over the lifetime of all historically Black college and university graduates. That's how much money these graduates earn over a lifetime. Those facts came from the United Negro College Fund's economic impact study on historically Black colleges and universities. So, although many believe that these institutions are not having a big impact on America, they certainly are. We can think just 2 months ago almost, the first female vice president of the United States is an HBCU graduate from Howard University. So that alone will and should eradicate that myth about you not being able to navigate through the ranks of your career, reach the highest of the high in whatever you choose to do. HBCUs can take you literally anywhere. I can't get enough of them. I'm sporting my Clark Atlanta University sweatshirt this morning. Never attended Clark Atlanta University a day in my life. However, it's one of just over 100 HBCUs, and they are so impactful. They have the most vibrant campuses. They have the most invigorating experiences. And I just encourage everyone, if you can, to take advantage of an HBCU education. I think we have a responsibility as African Americans to treasure these historic institutions. If not for HBCUs, there's essentially would not be a Black middle class. These institutions have provided the brain trust, the thought, the wherewithal for Black people to rise from poverty, as we were brought here as slaves, to the highest ranks, just as I just said, as Vice President of the United States of America. So you can go anywhere from a historically Black college or university. That's my take on HBCUs. Any questions that we have in the chat box?
Hi, I am Shayla Witcher, one of the enrollment specialists here at Bowie State University, and I am here to tell you everything you need to know about the enrollment process at Bowie State. If you have questions, tweet us at Bowie State using the hashtag BSU Open House, and we'll give you the answers you need. The first step, of course, is to apply for admission. To be accepted to BSU, you must have at least an SAT score of 850 or a minimum ACT score of 16 and a 2.3 GPA. This year, we instituted a test optional policy. So depending on your GPA, you may be eligible for admission without submitting SAT or ACT scores. You can visit bowiestate.edu/apply to find out if you qualify. Now, let's talk about financial aid. If you are applying for any type of financial aid, you must complete the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA. The information collected on the FAFSA will help determine your financial aid award, which can include a mix of scholarships, grants, federal work study, and loans. I know that paying for college can be stressful, but our staff in the Office of Financial Aid is here to help you through the process. Once you are accepted to the university and pay your acceptance fee, you will be eligible to pay for housing and apply for housing when the housing application opens in early March. We are committed to keeping all of our students safe as we navigate the COVID pandemic. So this fall, we offered a limited amount of single occupancy rooms for students living on campus. Though the university has not made an official decision about fall 2021, students' health and safety are our top priority as we plan for the next academic year. After you have completed all of these steps, the most important thing you can do is stay connected with us. We will be sending you information about academic advising and new student orientation. So it is important for you to check your emails and make sure that you are following us on social media for updates. If you have additional questions, you can make a virtual appointment and speak directly to someone from our admissions team. Sign up for an appointment at bowiestate.edu/open house. Now, it's time to start your journey to becoming a Bulldog. All right. Hello, everyone. Again, I am Shayla Witcher, Admissions Enrollment Specialist here at Bowie State University, also a Spring 2019 graduate of this institution. So here at BSU, we are the first and oldest HBCU founded in the state of Maryland. If you all have any questions for me at this time, please feel free to place them in the chat while you have me here. I've also placed my contact information in the chat for you all as well. So you all have my name, my email, as well as my work cell phone number. So are there any questions for me about Bowie State University? Ooh, I believe I do see one question in the chat from Dion. Now I'm unmuted. I believe.
Stepping, man. Be a big stepper the right way, okay? Go to college and be a big stepper, be successful, and put your boots to the ground. If you don't know what you want to do yet, it's okay.
Yep.
You try 1,001 things before you find your true, your true purpose. There we go. I like that word purpose because you should live in your purpose. Your purpose will give you the drive for the days that you don't want to do what you need to do or what you want to do. The purpose will give you the drive to get up out that bed, go to class, network with people, talk to people you don't want to, and gain that knowledge that you need that's going to get you to that career job, that financial independency, and to be an entrepreneur if that's what you want to do. And let me say this, you don't have to be an entrepreneur, guys. career jobs are good. You got benefits. You can go on vacation. You know, you're stable. You know, some people just want to be stable. Some people want to live like me, crazy. I wake up to all type of things. We can talk about that another time on part 2.
Right.
But today, all I want to say is keep trying, be an open mind, and half of the work is showing up.
There it is. J Rock right there with dropping them gems, major keys right there. Okay, so J Rock, NG Ange, we are here again. Welcome to the ultimate HBCU experience. We're going to keep this thing going with some more discussion about the search process, funding, which is very important because I know you're trying to go where the money resides. You got to know where it is, and community support. It's on the way.
Stillman College is an HBCU in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where we prepare students for a different world. Stillman is a college of distinction for last year and this year. Our largest majors are business and biology, followed closely by psychology, criminal justice, and history for pre-law, communications, English, and religion. Our newest degree programs are in the Department of Computational Sciences, which covers cybersecurity, data analytics, and math. The Biomedical Academy prepares students for competitive entry into health professions and graduate programs. We have established summer biomedical research internships with major research institutions, such as the University of Alabama, Drexel and Temple Universities in Philadelphia, the Salk Institute in San Diego, California, and the universities of Florida, Indiana, and Iowa. We became creative with social distancing and masks for the pandemic. Our students enjoy movie nights at the stadium and the new Melissa and Davis Legacy Courtyard, where you can eat and enjoy friends. We have the Divine Nine Greek letter organizations, student government leadership, and ambassadors. Our small class sizes, nurturing faculty, and friendly environments let you know that Black Lives Matter at Stillman College each and every day. Applications are free. Sign up at discover.stillman.edu. Complete the contact card and apply today. Stillman College, where we prepare students for a different world.
So one of the things we were doing is asking people if they had any questions in the chat, and we can respond to it. I'd like to say, just as a graduate of HBCU, I love my alma mater. One of the things that I think is so great about an HBCU is education. To me, it was family. Being on the campus of South Carolina State University, it was just a great experience. You go there, you get a good education, but also the professors, they're there to nurture you. So to me, it was almost like an extension of home in having that. And I have had the friends and the experiences that I've had. I mean, even to today, I still have just great networks, great family, great friends. And it all comes from that HBCU experience. So I think if you're thinking about whether to attend an HBCU or not, it is the best thing is to attend an HBCU. You just have to figure out which HBCU is right for you. There are over about 104 HBCUs, so you could find one that actually fits what you want. And I'll tell you, you will never regret attending an HBCU. So I don't know if we have any questions in the chat. If anyone can tell me if there's anything that someone, questions that they're asking from an alum, I can give you the answers from that perspective. Do we have any questions? Because I'm seeing something that someone says my microphone isn't working right. So I don't know if anyone has heard anything that I've said. Hello? I don't know if are there questions? Do we have any questions? One of the things that I did say was attending an HBCU, I will say for me, was one of the best decisions that I ever made. I think that it gave me, it just enriched me, pride. There's just a lot that you get from attending an HBCU. I developed friendships that have lasted to me a lifetime. Later on in the program, we'll actually be talking to someone, Rita McGee. Rita's someone that I met back almost over 25 years ago. And while we didn't attend the same HBCU, we kind of started off on a career path together. And I think that bond that we had, that sisterhood of being HBCU graduates, was something that we're still friends today. She'll be able to give you her experiences of graduating from an HBCU and how that prepared her for a great career as far as in the film industry. So, oh, there is a question. Let's see, what benefits have you gotten from an HBCU that you don't think you would get from a PWI education in employment-wise? Well, for me, I will say that I've had a career that spanned from working in broadcasting. I actually started off my career, I did do a little bit in film, but I think what I got was a pride and a determination. So I was taught from attending an HBCU that you always had to be on point, because you always had to be, you knew you had to do things better so that you could have those opportunities. And it taught me to just know that I just had to bust through the doors and that others were looking at me. So if I attended from an HBCU, I knew I had to be on point and I had to be good so that no one could say that my education was inferior to any other education. I also think that the professors at an HBCU, they also they're there to help you with personal development. It's not just professional development, it's personal development. And so they teach you about that. So I learned pride in being an African American. I learned pride about Black history. Those are the things to me that gave me that extra, I guess, step up to be successful. Did you live on campus? I did live on campus. Actually, at South Carolina State, there was campus and then there was something called South Campus. So South Campus gave us a little opportunity to think that we were like in an apartment. Actually, South Campus is gone, so that tells you I was at school a while ago, but I loved being on campus. I think that's the best experience. You get to engage and work and have friendships. You can pretend, I would say, that you're an adult, but your parents are still paying your bills. So I think it's the best thing is to live on campus. Let's. So right now we're going to wrap it up on my segment, and I'm going to kick it back.
Hi, my name is Jaron Strayhorn, and I'm the Senior Manager of Talent Acquisition and Campus Relations for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund is the nation's largest nonprofit organization exclusively representing the Black college community. The majority of our efforts go to supporting our 47 member schools, which are the 47 publicly supported HBCUs in the country. Our mission is to ensure student success by promoting educational excellence and preparing the next generation of workforce talent through leadership development. That's a long way of saying that we want to make sure that you're able to get to school, stay in school, graduate, and once you do, you're able to enter into the workforce prepared. So how do we do that? Well, the first way is through one of our many different scholarship opportunities, whether they're need-based or merit-based. Financial assistance is usually one of the largest reasons students struggle while they're in school and are unable to finish their degree. We have scholarships for students that are interested in studying anything. We even have scholarships for students that are first generation. The Walmart First Generation Scholarship is specifically for our first generation scholars who will be able to receive financial assistance and a campus mentor. That campus mentor's main job is to make sure that you're able to navigate through the first year of college. And that's just one of our many different scholarships. We also recruit students for different professional development programs, internships, and full-time opportunities. Now that we've been able to eliminate some of the financial stressors, we want to make sure that we're preparing you to enter into the workforce. I know a lot of students get discouraged when they hear that you need 3 to 5 years of work experience for that entry-level job that you're going to apply for. The fine print in that statement is that 3 to 5 years of work experience can come from your classroom experience, your campus involvement, or even your internship opportunities. The TMCF Talent Acquisition and Campus Relations team is responsible for recruiting and preparing students for these different opportunities. Our flagship program, the Leadership Institute, is one of the ways that we're able to do that. We identify 400 to 500 students across our 47 member schools to attend a week-long professional development conference. In that conference, we're going to discuss leadership, executive presence, financial literacy, 21st century skills, and other things relevant to your professional development. The best thing about it is that every session in this conference is led by an executive from one of our partners. Not only do you get training from corporate executives, you're going to be able to interview for some of these internships and full-time opportunities. So you could walk away with maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different full-time offers or internship offers, and you've taken away the stress of trying to figure out what you're going to do for the summer or what you're going to do after you graduate. Just by attending one of our member schools, you're eligible to participate in any of our programs. When you get a chance, please visit www.apply.tmcf.org. That's where you're going to be able to see any of the opportunities that are available to you. And you'll also sign up for our newsletter, which will tell you about all the things that are coming up and all of the great things that we're doing. Thank you and have a good day.
Awesome. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jaron Strayhorn. I'm actually the new program director for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. I support mainly our Hennessy Fellows program, which is a program specifically for our graduate students. Majority of our programs and opportunities are for undergraduate, but we have this one program with Hennessy that is specifically for graduate students and helping direct them on a path to the C-suite. As you probably have noticed, we do a lot of different things for the different or for different schools that we support. So we really are out here trying to make sure that students are able to prepare themselves and be prepared to enter into the workforce and continue on to their career. I attended the North Carolina Central University for undergrad and ended up getting my first 2 jobs from the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. So I am a student and product of TMCF. I'm also now an employee of TMCF, and I don't think that I could think of a better job to be doing. I don't even see this as a job, really. It's more so of passion work. The fact that I get paid to do it just makes it even better. But yes, I'm open to any questions that you all may have. I know that the section that I'm talking about is more so around funding, which typically is a huge concern for a lot of students, especially first generation students that are coming into college. I know with the pandemic that there are a lot of questions around funding. You know, where am I going to find this money? You know, everybody's strapped for cash at this point. You know, while that is true, and thankfully TMCF has been in a position where we actually grew in 2020. Unfortunately, the events that happened with George Floyd over the summer and everybody wanting to become more of a socially conscious organization we were able to somewhat take advantage of that. And not in a bad way. You know, we want to make sure that the partners that we do bring on to TMCF are really do have that vested interest in making sure that the students from HBCUs are being seen in the right light. So, you know, programs like I said, the Hennessy Fellows Program, our Leadership Institute, which you saw in the video, some of the other internship opportunities that we recruit students for, and even some of the scholarship opportunities that we have available as well. Those are all things that we do to make sure that we're prepared, that we're providing students with everything that they need, and trying to take away some of those burdens. One of the many scholarships that we have open right now are through our COVID Relief Scholarship Fund, and that's funded by a couple of different partners that we have. So just to kind of give you a mindset of, you know, everything that we have scholarships, we have internship opportunities. We're a coaching and development organization, so we're not just identifying you and throwing you out to the wolves. No, we wouldn't do that because it doesn't serve your purpose. The idea is that we want to make sure that you have everything in front of you to be able to utilize those skills and get that job that you're looking for after you've spent your 4 or 5 years in school. So I will open it up to questions just to make sure that I get to them all. Excuse me. But if you're not able to get to the question box, I'll make sure that I leave my information here as well, so that you can reach out to me, and I can definitely get you in front of the right people if that question is not something that I'm able to answer directly. So I do see a couple of questions. Okay. So I'm sorry. Let me see here. When should I start applying for scholarships? Excuse me. I'm sorry. So I would start applying for scholarships as soon as you get on campus, or even beforehand. We do have a couple of scholarships that are open to high school seniors, but once you get on campus your fall semester, I would definitely start applying for scholarships. One thing that helps out a lot of students is just creating a profile with us. Currently it's at apply.tmcf.org, and I'll also put that into the chat as well. But apply.tmcf.org is where you're going to create a profile. You'll also be able to sign up for our newsletter. You can sign up for our newsletter on our website, which is tmcf.org, and that will help you see what all is coming available, what all is going to be launching, what's open right now, and then going from there. So you can definitely do that. I would say the sooner the better. Most of our scholarships are for students that are currently in college, but we do have a few that are for graduating high school seniors. So just take a look. Right now, I believe we have about 60 plus scholarship applications open. So, you know, like we said in the video, there's scholarships for literally anything that you want to do. So please go out and take a look at those. There was another one about what made Thurgood Marshall stand out to me. Because I am a product of the HBCU. I went to North Carolina Central University, which is in Durham, North Carolina. If you don't know, Durham, North Carolina is where is pretty much the middle of Tobacco Road. So if you watch college basketball, you know that Duke and Chapel Hill are like the hottest rivalry in college basketball. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to get the same opportunities that they were getting. 5 minutes away from Duke is North Carolina Central. So you want to make sure that we were getting the same opportunities that they were receiving. And that's what TMCF did for me. So that's really what made it stand out for me. And I have to wrap it up real quick, but like I said, I'm going to make sure that I put my information into the chat. And then also the website to where you can check for or create a profile with us, and then also sign up for our newsletter so that you see everything that comes available. So please feel free to reach out to me, and thank you for having me.
We
State has given me the ability to capture ideas from the ones before me, so therefore, I can make it live for the ones after me. The musician, the painter, the photographer, and the visionary. I create what you only imagine, expressing myself through my times. I am Da Vinci.
Although I'm a STEM major, I express all my talents through the arts. Here at Bowie State, I can get the best of both worlds. But watch out, I'm just getting started.
From the time I stepped on this campus, I knew I would take it by storm. My time is here, and there's no going back. It's showtime.
From crunching numbers to serving my class and creating my own org, I set the pace in my HBCU. I turned my dreams into reality. I am the visionary.
From the books to the cab to the stroll off, I get the job done. It's always perfect. That's why they call me the perfectionist.
Went to West Virginia, came back home. New beginnings aren't so bad. Take every opportunity. Your time is endless. Be memorable. Welcome home.
Being a fresh face at Bowie State, I hit the ground running, and now coming at you, full speed. Don't blink, I'm a hot shot. I lead from the front on and off the track. Keep your eye on the finish line. I am the track star.
From a transfer student winning class king to being elected the king of my campus. When I made my potential my purpose, there was no limit on what I can do. So you know what? I did.
Being on this campus has transformed me into the man I am today. With a few tweaks and upgrades, I'm slowly becoming the man my parents raised me to be. I am transformed.
Sleeping on me wouldn't be the smartest thing to do. Here at Bowie State, I'm a girl who possesses book and street smarts, so there's no limit to what I can do. Out with the old and with the new, I'm the next CAB president, and I'm coming through.
From starting my own makeup business to academic achievement, Bowie State has given me all the right resources to take control of my future. So now that I have your attention, you can call me the Captivator. From being a mentor to being an SGA to even going places I've never been, Bowie has shown me the world is at my fingertips. Anything I want, I can achieve.
Chief staff of my class to president of the school. I fuse all my dreams together for the bigger picture. I am the commander in chief.
From painting to cheer to my accounting career, my college experience is what I wanted to be. And who said I had to fit inside the box? At last, the queen stands. Bowie State has given me the opportunity to serve my community, overcome every obstacle, and fearlessly conquer all. Watch out, I'm a force to be reckoned with. You know what they say? Puerto Ricans like to shake it up. Giving you the flavor you never knew you needed. I am the sweet with the heat.
Hey, 1A! Hey, 1A! Hey, 6-5! Hey, 6-5! Bowie State! Hey, Bowie State! In real life! In real life! Hey, 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 rock the ball! Hey, rock the ball! Ooh, where you
Welcome back, everybody. So now we're going to have just a conversation about Greek life. At the HBCU, Greek life is very paramount. So we want to bring on my little brother from another, Gary Maddox, who attended North Carolina Central University. Gary, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
All right. So let me ask you a couple of questions, Gary. So what made you want to join Greek life at your university?
From a young boy, I'll say I have a lot of family members that was a part of Greek life. More, I would say, of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity incorporated. So just growing up and seeing the different things that they did in the community, from the Guide Right program to the highway cleanups to just the parades and just different things, I knew that I wanted to be a part of Kappa Alpha Psi.
Got you. And so when did you actually cross your fraternity?
I crossed in spring of 2005 at North Carolina Central University, the Alpha Kappa chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Okay. And so what's one of the things that you remember when you was on campus that the chapter did that kind of stood out to you?
I would say, like I say, just being in the community. I know that we had our Guide Right program with one of the schools in Durham. So just going there, mentoring, doing the highway cleanups, being in the CAF and doing the CAF cleanups, and just being involved in different student organization on campus.
All right. And so when you think about your experience as an undergrad, we know at HBCU step shows are like the biggest thing ever. What kind of things did you all do to kind of prepare to get ready for your step shows?
It was a lot of long nights, headaches and pains. With that, we would definitely start practice a lot of times around 7 or 8 o'clock, and we wouldn't get out till about 2 or 3. And I say the week of homecoming, it could run as late as 5 o'clock in the morning. We would have like early morning as well as late evenings as far as practicing for the step show.
Got you. And another question I have for you. How do you manage your time management being a student as well as being an active member of your fraternity?
Well, first and foremost, you attend the college to obtain your degree. So you have to make sure that you put that first. But it's just all, like I said, about time management and balancing everything, having a schedule and just making sure that you're able to get everything done. And one thing I say about North Carolina Central University, you definitely learn about time management and things that they talked about in dimensions of learning.
Yeah, you know, we're all about truth and service. So, in the sense of just thinking about Greek life in general, were you all the only fraternity on campus? Like, is there a group, and what is that group called, and what does that group represent?
So no, we have all the Divine Nines on campus. They pretty much, do the same thing. Of course, everybody have their own motto, but we all pretty much follow the same thing as far as brotherhood and giving back to the community, as well as sororities for sisterhood, and like I say, giving back.
Okay. And your community involvement expanded beyond the campus life, correct? And so I heard you talk about, the God Right program. What kind of program is that? If someone who may be interested in your organization, just so they have an idea of what that is.
So it's a mentoring program. We will go to, like I say, one of the local schools in Durham, read to the kids, like I say, help them with any homework, basically like a big brother to them, and just making sure there's anything that they need that we're there to assist them with.
All right, and we got a question from the group chat.
Okay.
I think it's Kaylee. The question is, what is something that people exaggerate about their fraternity experience?
I would say things that people exaggerate. It's probably just the narrative of what Greek life really is. I think sometimes people stretch it out a little bit more than what it should be. But like I say, ultimately it's the, brotherhood, sisterhood, and just really being leaders in the community.
Okay. So being a member of your organization, does it stop after you graduate?
No, it doesn't. It's a lifelong commitment. The work really starts after you cross, or I say after you graduate. As far as being in the community, you want to make sure that you are active within your organization, pay your dues. You don't just want to be a t-shirt wearer or someone that's just walking around campus for us shimmying or, like you said, stepping. You want to make sure that you're involved and you're doing things in the community and giving back, because ultimately that's what it's about. It's not about the shimmying. It's about giving back in the community and really showing what your organization stands for and ours is achievement in every field of human endeavor.
Okay, great. And so we got to get ready to kind of wrap up, but if you still got time to stick around and look into the chat, there are some other questions in there. If you're able and capable of responding to it, we definitely would like to have your input from there. And we want to thank you for stepping in and joining us today.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate the opportunity.
All right, thank you.
I chose my HBCU first and foremost for the March 100, but because I also wanted an education that culturally spoke to me. I love FAMU, and FAMU means so much to me because it prepared me for a world that wasn't prepared for me. So that everywhere I went, I knew I was somebody, and FAMU helped make me that way.
Chose Clark Atlanta University
because it was a safe place where I was celebrated and not tolerated. It is rich in culture and history and provided me with an overall wonderful college experience. Clark Atlanta University. I'll find a way or make one.
Welcome back. So now we're going to just talk about student perspective. So we have a young lady uh, named Dominique Beckham. So Dominique, tell us what school you go to and your class and your major.
Okay, so I go to Bowie State University. I'm class of 2022, and I'm a marketing major.
Okay, and so what attracted you to Bowie State?
So I really wanted to go to Bowie State because it's close to home. Um, I don't know. My mom went there, so she's an alumni. She told me about her experiences there. So I was like, let me just apply to Bowie State, and I got it. And yeah.
Did you have a chance to visit Bowie State like while you were growing up since your mom went there and everything?
Yeah. So she used to go to homecomings and stuff, and whenever they had like the homecoming games, pre-corona, we always went, and yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Do you live on campus?
No, I don't live on campus. I'm a commuter. Ever since I started, I've been commuting. So,
And why did you choose to be a commuter opposed to a traditional on-campus student?
well, commuting was cheaper than staying on campus for me at the time. And then when I finally decided that I wanted to stay on campus, Corona happened, and it wasn't really an option anymore. So I just decided to stay on campus the entire time.
How has Corona affected or COVID affected your experience with the HBCU?
Well, like I said, homecoming is a really big thing at Bowie State. We have like events pre-corona. We had events like every single day, like step shows and you know. But now everything's virtual. It's not as fun. It's still fun, but it's not as fun. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So I know you talked about wanting to save some dollars by staying at home and being a commuter, but what are some of the things, I guess we would say pre-COVID, what are some things that you missed, that you felt like you missed out on that you didn't get to actually participate in?
I felt like I missed a lot of. I missed the opportunity to make friends. You know what I'm saying? Um, I feel like on campus, you could. I mean, even if you're off campus, you could still join activities and stuff. But I didn't, and I personally felt like I regret not joining activities, and because I feel like that would be a great way to make friends. But I never got the opportunity to, so yeah.
Um, well, if there was anything that, if you had the choice, I guess, after COVID, would you choose to live on campus now?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. But I'm about to graduate, so
Okay.
it kind of seems pointless. But if I could, I definitely would. I would go back. If I could go back in time, I would stay on campus.
So what would you say to a kid who, kind of indecisive, or, if they want to stay on campus or even attend Bowie State? What is some advice you would give them about, making sure that they make a sound decision?
Um, I would say consider your options. It was a financial choice for me, and it might be a financial choice for you why you would decide to stay on campus or decide not to stay on campus. Um, Visit the campus, see if you like the campus. I mean, because, I feel like that's important too. And yeah, I mean, that's about it.
So even though you know what we call like a commuter student, what's something about your experience at Bowie State that actually has stood out to you?
Everyone is very nice there. It's really friendly. It really feels like a family environment. Of course, it's the HBCU, and I'm black, so it's a lot of other students who are, the same race as me. But it's also very diverse too. You know what I'm saying? Um, at Bowie State, it's a requirement to take African American studies. like your freshman year or maybe a sophomore year, but you have to take it. And I feel like because I went to a HBCU and I took African American Studies, I was exposed to I don't know. I was exposed to an environment where I felt like knowledgeable about my history and going to a HBCU. So yeah.
What are your classes like? Like, are your teachers? Are they all black? What are the classrooms like when you were in school?
So most of the classes are small. It's not like a bunch of kids in one class. At most, like the most kids I ever had in like one of my classes was like 30 kids. So it's not like super crowded. My teachers were mostly black, but we did have other teachers of other ethnicities and stuff. So yeah.
So let's talk about Bowie State some more.
Okay.
Do you all? So what is you all's mascot? Like, are you the Eagles? Are you the?
No, we're the Bulldogs.
And your colors?
Black and gold.
Who are your school rivals though? Like, would you say anybody, that if it's big game day, y'all, everyone show up and show out to go against?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe Morgan State, VSU. I don't know. Other HBCUs, of course, in our division.
So at Hampton, they have they try to create a sense of community. So everyone has like a class name. Do you guys have class names, or how do you guys create a sense of community at Bowie State?
I'm not sure if we have class names, but we do have like class Instagrams where because when I first started at Bowie State in 2018, somebody from, I guess, the student organization added a bunch of kids from our year, and that's how we get updates about our class, the class of 2022, and stay updated on our campus activities and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have a personal good relationship with your academic advisor? Like, do you feel like they're ready and available for you? If you have any questions about grades or concerns, how does that work for you as a student?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So our academic advisors are separated by our last names. So we're able to schedule appointments with them online anytime we need to. But because of Corona and COVID, we have to schedule a day before so we can meet them virtually online because we can't see them in person anymore. Okay. So, yeah.
So yeah, we see that COVID has changed a whole lot of the traditional operations for any school, not just the HBCU.
Right.
So Dominique, we want to thank you for joining us today. We have another student perspective that's going to come on, Mr. Devin. Whenever he's ready, we can go ahead and go over to Devin.
Good morning. Can y'all hear me? Hello?
I hear you.
Oh, how's it going, everybody? My name is Devin. I am a freshman at North Carolina Central University, and I'm also serving as the Mr. Freshman for the 2020 and 2021 school year, and I'm also a football player.
You actually from?
Oh, I'm from Durham, North Carolina.
And what's your major?
I'm a criminal justice major with a concentration in law enforcement.
All right. And so what is your interest as it relates to law enforcement?
I always wanted to, I'm really community oriented when it comes to me and my family, because we always give back. We always participate in stuff like that, like going to the soup kitchen or making kits and sending it to the Durham Rescue Mission and stuff like that. And also my granddad, he used to serve on the Durham Police Department force a long time ago. He used to be one of the captains, and he was just telling me all the stuff he got to do, what he experienced and where he traveled and stuff. And I just felt like that would be something I'll be interested in doing. Probably not on the local level. I try to do federal level though, like a U.S. Marshal, because one, that's where the money at, and two, I feel like I can travel and do a lot more with being the U.S. Marshal and get more opportunities instead of being on the local level.
Gotcha. Understood. So what was something that attracted you to your university, North Carolina Central University?
Well, one thing that attracted me was, I would say, the the law program they have is one of the top programs in the nation, and also it was mainly a football decision too, because they recruited me as a receiver, so I ended up committing there in last January, and it was just really it was really a football decision, but also the law program was definitely good too. And my family, they had a big influence on it because I think I'm a fourth generation Eagle, so they told me a lot about the campus, what it has to offer, and all the help that they offer when it comes to the athletes and the academic resources that they provide. So I thought it was a plus too, and also it's close to home, so I get to go home and get a nice little home cooked meal from mama. So that's good too.
You mentioned that you're Mr. Freshman. Can you kind of explain what Mr. Freshman is for kids that haven't been to an HBCU and kind of how that process works, what it means?
So Mr. Freshman is a position on the Royal Court where we help trying to get our class, like I'm class of 2024, I'm a freshman, so we try and help our class get more involved on campus and in the community. So that's been kind of tough, really, because of COVID. So I've been trying to do my best with coming up with ideas, trying to get it passed through the school, make sure ain't no liability issues or anything, so we can go ahead and get the ball rolling when it comes to giving back. Mr. Freshman is a position on the Royal Court for North Carolina Central.
Okay, Devin, we have a question from the group chat. Kalia again. So as a freshman, how did you establish boundaries with your parents so they could let you go? And how involved were they in your college experience?
To be honest, my parents weren't really as involved in my college experience as I thought they were going to be, because I feel like when I'm close to home, they're gonna be on my back. They gonna let me do nothing. I gotta ask them to go certain places, but like they understood like I gotta go through certain things on my own. You know, that's part of growing up for real on campus and at college. You got to experience things on your own, because at the end of the day, you graduate, you in life, your parents not gonna be there, so you got to make decisions and you got to live with them. So I think that's one thing I can say they did when it comes to my college experience. They kind of let me go. I mean, they kind of guided me in certain things and decisions that I had made, but other than that, everything was based off of me, and they just there just to back me up, support it. So letting go wasn't hard. It was hard for my mama though, but other than that, it was fine though.
So we have another question from Kalia. Thanks, Kalia, for being so active. She says, I want to major in criminal justice as well, with a concentration in corrections. How has your experience at an HBCU given you a different point of view in the justice system as a Black person? Great question.
That is a great question. Different perspective. I would say it really opened up my eyes to show like we really need more African Americans in that field, especially with this time of age and what's been going on. You know, a lot of stuff that's been going on, a lot of negative stuff. I ain't really gonna go deep in detail of what's been going on, but I just feel like we need more people of color in that field, you know?
Okay.
All right, one last quick question for you. As a student athlete, what's the difference between playing HBCUs versus a PWI, popular white institution?
I feel like playing for HBCU definitely in this time of age sets the bar high with athletes, because being recruited out of high school, I was pretty highly recruited, mainly from PWIs like Duke, Vanderbilt, Carolina. I was mainly recruited from those type of schools, but I feel like me attending the HBCU as a big time recruit will help bring in more, I wouldn't say more attention, but like help athletes understand like you don't have to go to a big time PWI or a big time school other than HBCU and not make it or be successful. You know, you can go to HBCU, and if you ball out and do what you gotta do, they're gonna come find you no matter what it is. But also look at what your nearby HBCU has to offer, because sometimes they offer more or better than the PWI you're thinking about going to. You know, so I'll say that.
All right, thanks a lot. We really appreciate you joining us today. You gave a lot of good insight as a student. So now we're going to switch it over to our host.
We have a great sponsor next coming up.
Choose AmeriGroup Community Care for free or low-cost health benefits for your whole family. With AmeriGroup, you're covered for checkups and prescriptions, plus dental and vision care, even eyeglasses or contacts, all at little to no cost to you from the plan Maryland has trusted for 20 years. The choice is easy. Choose AmeriGroup for your health choice plan now at chooseamerigroup.com/MD.
Yeah, man. Welcome back to the ultimate HBCU experience, the virtual edition. Angie Ann's checking in with you. J Rock here. We are guest hosting, co-hosting, having a
For
good
sure.
time. I don't know about you, J Rock, but I'm really enjoying these conversations.
Oh man. Oh
And I
man.
love the questions that you guys are putting in the chat. It actually made me think a lot about my personal experience at Howard University. A lot of people talking about the money. Where the money reside? Am I getting a grant?
Money,
Am I
money,
getting a
money, money.
scholarship? Real quick, J Rock, did you get any scholarships going into
Actually
Virginia
from
State?
DC, yes. DC is as you know, does a lot of funding,
Mm.
and they definitely gave me some scholarship to go to VSU.
Nice, nice. I actually, when I went to Howard University, I had no money. I had no money, which is scary because
Yeah.
Howard isn't cheap, right?
Nah, I'm
And
telling you.
that was way back when, and it's like probably double, triple now. But what I did manage to get was what's called a merit-based scholarship, and I see that in there. So a merit-based scholarship is sometimes you could come in with little or no money, but if you can get good grades, if you can do really well with your grades, sometimes they offer tuition assistance, room and board assistance, things like that. So when I came into Howard, I had nothing, but I told myself, I said, okay, I want to help my parents out. So I said, I'm going to get a 4.0. Okay, this is my freshman year. You know,
Yeah.
that's hard to get a
That's
4.0,
tough.
right? But I said, the goal, you know, you ever heard the saying, if you shoot for the moon,
You
even if
land
you
on the
miss, you'll
stars?
land them on the stars.
Oh
Okay.
man,
So I
shine
said,
bright.
yeah, so I said, let me just shoot for the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I shot for the moon, 4.0. Only problem is, y'all, Angie is terrible in math, and I had to take a math class, okay? And I struggled, but I did the most to make sure that I could at least get the A, like
For
to
sure.
get my
The extra
4.0.
credit.
Yes, and I was almost there. I missed it. I ended up getting a B. But to be quite honest, I was probably like a D level. So the fact
That
that
was
I got
great.
a B
That
was
was
like
great.
an extreme
You
accomplishment.
land on the stars. You landed
Yes.
on the stars.
So I ended up freshman year, first semester, I ended up with a 3.8, and that put me in position to get my tuition covered. And then I kept that going, and that really helped me with assistance. And then over time, I got a job. I was
Yeah.
working at Department of Justice. I ended up moving off campus. A lot of people asking, did you stay on campus? I definitely stayed on campus.
You
Shout
need
out
a
to
job
the
for that though.
annex. Yeah, you might need a job. And there's all types of resources on campuses. So just keep that in mind, y'all. Like, you know, sometimes when it comes to the money, you may not get all that you want, but if you're a hustler, you get out there, you can get a job on campus, you can get a job off campus, and you can find ways to pay for it. So did you stay on
Definitely.
campus at VSU?
My first year is mandatory,
Okay,
but I
okay.
worked hard. I threw a lot of parties to get off.
Okay.
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 But the campus wasn't bad. I'll say I needed that experience just for college,
Yeah.
just so I can get that college experience. But me, as you know, I was back then I was,
It
getting
was
to
lit.
it as
You
well.
was having
So
fun.
I needed to have my own spot so I can
Yeah.
travel
Yeah.
and go as I please. So I end up moving the second year off campus, but I spent the year on campus and I loved it, man. We had a great
Awesome.
time. And I stayed with all the football players.
Oh,
So it was just
it was
crazy.
really wild
Yeah, it was
there.
just crazy.
We're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave
Yeah,
that
yeah,
for another
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, speaking of parties and having fun, we've been watching these conversations. Somebody right now, you just been sitting there like this, watching it like, okay.
When do I
Hold
win?
tight.
When do I
And
win?
you're asking about winning prizes. You want to know when to win prizes, and we also need to get some blood flow going.
Let's
Okay.
go.
So first and foremost, we got a couple winners we want to shout out, right, J Rock?
Yep.
A couple people already got the hookup.
Yep. Kalia and Deanna, you are our first two winners. We're going to
Congratulations.
contact you through the chat, but stay tuned. Kalia and Deanna, you
Yeah.
are our first two winners.
Yeah. Now, I want to take it to the party experience. The HBCU party experience is unlike any other, first and foremost.
Crazy.
But secondly, homecoming in particular is where the camaraderie
man.
really like grows.
Oh, man.
Okay. And in particular, the swag surf is kind of like universally across HBCUs. It's a way that we just
It's
really express
historic.
ourselves. Yeah, at this point.
It should go in the history books.
It is. It's the one thing any HBCU you go to. You know how you go to like a football game and everybody's doing the waves.
Yeah.
Everybody knows to do that. Well, at a HBCU, when you hear the swag surf, when you hear that, man, I got that
Well,
swag.
you just get to
Like,
rocking. You just
at-
be like, oh,
yeah.
what's going on?
So,
What's going
so
on?
what we want y'all to do, wherever you're at, if you're at home, you're in your room, you're watching this on your phone, I want you to, stretch it out. There you go, like J Rock here. Okay, we're gonna stretch it out. We're gonna get your blood flowing because we want you to swag and surf with us one time and
Let's
to
go.
help us out, because everybody might be like, well, do I just go like this? Do I just go left to right, left to right? I mean,
gotta
you
stand
could,
up.
you could, but you gotta stand up. That's important. You gotta
Yeah,
stand up.
yeah.
And then after you stand up, though, it's kind of like it's slow with it. Like it starts off like, man, I got that swag.
Yeah.
Like it's real,
Okay.
real slow.
You see, I had to
know?
catch her. You
Right,
you catch
and
your
match the
neighbor.
person,
You
right?
catch
Let's
your
be
neighbor.
on
You
the
gotta
same
catch your
rhythm.
neighbor.
Okay, I
Boom.
can't be over
Yeah, you
here
can't-
like this, and he over there slow with it.
On her vibe. I'm on her
Right.
vibe.
So we start off kind of slow,
Yeah.
and then it picks up and it goes crazy.
Crazy.
Okay, so to help us out right now, I want y'all to watch a little video. Mr. Aaron Taylor and some of his Hampton friends got together just so that y'all get the feel before you go to your HBCU.
Gotta feel it.
You got to be prepared.
Gotta feel it.
All right, check it out.
Man, I got this swag. My hammer to my bed. You know I'm about to tag. Yo, man, I got this swag. Man, I got this swag. My hammer to my bed. You know I'm about to tag. Yo, man, I got this swag. When I serve, now I can serve this swag. I'm on hypnotic, exotic. It polo on my body, got a bag from Versace, and I'm real right behind me, and I'm swag, I'm certain, I'm swag, I'm certain, I'm swag, I'm certain, I'm feeling like this detergent on Patron, yeah, I'm purple by the zone, yeah, I'm smoking strong, and you know I'm on, cause I'm swag, I'm certain, I'm swag, I'm certain, I'm swag, I'm certain, I'm feeling like this detergent.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Hey, Hampton, y'all did a good job. That was
Great,
nice. Shout
great.
out to Aaron Taylor. That was very cool. That was love. And it's difficult because it's like, we in the COVID space. So it's like,
Yeah.
because when I was hosting parties, I'd be like, hey, want you to wrap
Grab
your
your
arms
neighbor.
around the person you
Yeah,
love,
get real close.
I don't know how that looks
I think that's
now. We can't even, it's got to be kind of, yeah, without us getting out of the camera
6
shot.
feet. Oh yeah.
But
Oh man.
but we want to see how you swag and surf as well. All you gotta do is send us your videos. Of course, you gotta have your parents' consent though. Parents' written consent to win some more of our HBCU giveaways if you want to get down with the swag surf. It always seems to get people hype. But you know what else can incite a crowd, John? You know what else gets the people going?
Tell us what else.
HBCU athletics.
Oh man. Oh man.
Now
the rival games.
Oh, the rival games are crazy.
Oh,
Shout
man.
outs to
Paint your
Hampton
face.
Howard. Who was your rival?
I think I Bowie was the best one.
Okay.
But I would say when we played like VUU
Uh-huh.
or like if we got a chance to play VCU or do anything with VCU,
It's on.
It's on.
It's on.
It's
Okay.
on. 'Cause they right in Richmond.
Yes.
So it's on.
So, and I don't know how good your team was. I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like Howard University in the athletics department, especially the football team, was never really that great. So typically we lost. But you know who really kept the party hyped though?
Who?
The band.
Oh yeah.
One
The
time for the
band-
marching band.
No,
Okay.
listen, hold up.
If it wasn't for the marching band, you wouldn't even.
I
go
wouldn't
to the
got up
game.
on class on time because the band is the first people on the yard
Yeah,
making noise.
yeah, the
And if you
band-
stay in a dorm like VSU, they're right by my dorm, and they was time to go to class.
Exactly.
They outside.
Exactly. So we're gonna get a little bit into that, man. We got some coaches and athletic professionals coming up next to talk about the world of HBCU sports.
Yeah.
Because I know we've got a lot of athletes watching, so stick around. This is a conversation you definitely
Stay
don't want to
tuned.
miss.
That's one of the first things I got to see was the band. Actually, like Is everybody on scholarship? Because y'all doing 4 days, okay? Y'all doing 4 days.
Good morning, everyone. Well, my name is Ebony Jones. I am the head tennis coach at Coppin State University, but I'd like to tell you a little bit about my background. I am a proud graduate of Albany State University in Albany, Georgia. I would say it's 504 College Drive to the day I die. It's definitely a place where I grew and cultivated to the person that I am. Tennis has been one of a lifelong part of me. I think I started playing when I was around 9 years old, which is a little bit late for the game. But through personal experiences, through a community organization called the NJTL, I found my way to play tennis and play the junior circuit through the United States. And when it came to get recruited, I had some big PWIs come to me, and it was a friend who said, "Hey, my sister's a coach at Albany State. Come down to homecoming," and they made it my official visit. And I don't know about you, if you've been to a HBCU homecoming, I had never seen anything like it. And from there, I kind of signed, and I was there for 4 years and spent the best 4 years of my life. I think I should have been on the 5-year plan, but I got out in 4. After college, I became a social worker, and that was never really my jam because tennis was. And while I was at Albany State University, I had an opportunity to actually get certified as a tennis professional and a coach. And from there, it was always my side hustle. So about 8 years, I quit my life as a social worker and started coaching full time. And from there, it kind of my life turned around, and I actually landed myself in the DMV. I spent a couple years at a small Division III school, and then I got an opportunity to become the head coach at Coppin State University in Baltimore, Maryland. And it kind of fit with who I was, because as I go back to my foundation in Albany, Georgia, where I have a pride for myself and wanting to change my community, and especially for people like me, people in my likeness. So when I came to Coppin on the west side of Baltimore, it was a time for me to use my experiences from working for the United States Tennis Association, where I worked for a few years, to do things in the community and actually cultivate relationships in the community of Westside Baltimore, where now we have a community partnership with a nonprofit, a nonprofit organization where we actually do after school tennis in the city of Baltimore. But when it comes to athletics, when it comes to like the X's and O's, the serves and volleys, we are a global group. Tennis, from my background is tennis, so I speak on like a more of a global standpoint. We are the United Nations. We have kids from all over the world that took the opportunity to come to Coppin, that wanted to be able to play some of the best teams, and we're able to provide that at the Division I level, because we are a member organization of the MEAC conference. We're here. Our goal is to cultivate leaders in the future. So I'm proud to say that at a small school like Coppin State University, my student athletes actually average about a 3.5 GPA. We have kids that have gone on to get their PhDs in biology from some of the biggest and best universities. And this all started at Coppin, which a lot of people, they know the other school across town, but they really don't know about the smaller school on the west side. But, when it comes to athletics, it's a place where kids from all over the country, all over the world come and be able to compete and show their talents and actually have an experience that's transformative. So that's pretty much my elevator pitch about, athletics and how I got into it and where I came from. If there's any questions, I'll be like more than happy and more excited to answer.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Larry Holmes. I am the men's and women's tennis coach at Norfolk State University. Um, like all of you guys, I came from an HBCU myself, class of 2004, Johnson C. Smith University. Shout out to the Golden Bull Nation. Stand up. Um, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my background, where I come from. So I grew up in New York, played tennis there. I started when I was 6 or 7 years old. Um, fast forward a little bit, I became very good. Became one of the top juniors in the country. I had a lot of offers to go to predominantly PWIs as well, but I chose to attend an HBCU because it was where I felt much more home at, though. So, and then graduated, 2004. After college, I decided to try my hands on the professional ranks of tennis, though. That didn't pan out so good, so that's when I got involved in the coaching. And, I started coaching at private tennis clubs all across the country. Then, one of my former students had asked me to become his high school team coach, and I did. And 8 years later, that started to lead. I started to lead into the college ranks. My first college coaching job was at a small school in Arizona. Stayed there for 2 years. Then after that, I moved to Kansas to coach at another small school there. And then 2 years ago, my big break came into the coaching. I was the assistant coach at Virginia Tech, a Power 5 school in the ACC. For the women's program, I was the assistant. And now, currently, as of January, I became the new men's and women's head coach at Norfolk State. So, just to give you guys a little bit of, insight, though, you know, just to give you some ideas in terms of when schools come to you and talk to you and everything like that, the biggest thing is that you have to remember that, if a college coach comes to you, to them, you are an investment for the next 4 years. And you have to represent yourself well and represent yourself in all aspects. That means on social media, Facebook, Instaface, Snapbook, whatever the case may be, because coaches do look at that stuff. And, they want to see what type of person you are, not on the court, but on the court as well. So, our program, just to talk a little bit about us, though, we have a lot of kids from across the world because tennis is a very global game. And, when coaches look at you, they want to look at three things. Well, this is me. I can't speak for every coach here, but I look at three things. One, what type of person are you? Do you have the character that can fit our culture? Two, do you love what the sport can do for you? Do you love the game, or do you love what it can do for you? And three, what type of student are you? Are you going to graduate in 4.5 years? And if you check off all those boxes, then, coaches will talk to you. You have to remember also, too, that, coaches have standards that they look for as well. So, I know everybody has the big goal, the big dream to go to a Power 5, SEC, ACC school, but in the reality, I wouldn't sell short of going to an HBCU because, a small little known fact that, a lot of 25% of the Hall of Famers in the National Football League came from HBCUs. So just keep that in mind. If you wanted to make it to the league or whatever case may be, if you're good enough, that people will find you. So that's my pitch right there. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you.
Do you have to have any experience to join the team?
It helps to have a little bit of experience, though. It helps. You know, some teams, you know, like they do. You can be a walk on basically, and you know they'll put you through a tryout, and you know if the coach likes what they see, you know you can walk on the team, and you know you can earn your way to get a scholarship as well.
All right, thank you. And then we have another question. Khalil has been asking a whole lot of questions. I really thank you for being attentive and interacting with us. Their question is, how do you handle people who've never played a sport before, but they really want to try out in college?
Well, the big thing I can say about that is that like I can speak for tennis. I can't speak for any other sport. I know for tennis is that what we do is, you know, our fall season, that's where we really develop and really play tournaments. So the thing is that we spend the fall semester, you know, building up and, you know, teaching skills. Because when the springtime comes, that's where competition, and we don't have a lot of time to teach technique and everything like that. So, you know, it's doable, but it's doable. It just takes a lot of will of the person.
Okay, and we're going to take one more question for you. What is the best way to get recruited during the whole pandemic, during COVID? What's the best way for someone to get recruited?
So right now, under the NCAA, all coaches, no matter if you're Division I, Division II, Division III, we are in what's called the dead period right now, which means we can't actively go out and look at you and see you play, you know, or schedule a visit with you. So the best thing I would tell someone is, you know, if you're interested in that program, interested in that school, email the coach, you know, send a video, you know, send a video, and you know, leave your, leave like a little bit of like a bio of yourself, you know, in terms of I play tournaments, you know, this is where I play on my high school team, so on and so forth, and you know, coaches are very good to like get back at you though.
Okay, great. We want to thank you so much for joining in out of your busy schedule to take the time to answer the questions and talk about your program. We really appreciate you. So next, we're going to go over to Coach Chaz Woodson, who is a men's lacrosse coach. So, Coach Woodson, can you hear us?
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right, great. So thank you for joining us today. So can you kind of introduce yourself and tell us the program that you're responsible for and what institution?
Sure, absolutely. My name is Chaz Woodson. I'm the head lacrosse coach at Hampton University, which is the only Division I men's lacrosse program in the country at an HBCU. So I think my background, just to give you a little information, I grew up in Norfolk, 25 minutes from Hampton University, learned to play lacrosse in that area, and was fortunate enough to go on and play at Brown University. At the time, there was no lacrosse played at any HBCUs. And I graduated from there in 2005, was fortunate enough to continue my playing career professionally from 2005 through 2017. During that time, I was also a teacher and a coach down in Miami. So I actually had settled in pretty well to living in Miami and loving life there, waking up every day and going to work in shorts and a t-shirt and working with kids and mentoring people. And that was the good life. But I had already had always determined that the only thing that would really prompt me to want to be in college lacrosse as a coach would be if I could build a program my own way, if it could be in an area that was desirable to live in for me, or if it could be at an HBCU. And Hampton obviously gave me that opportunity to come home, to be at an HBCU, and to build a program the way I want to build it. We've got a pretty unique program in that it was built quite literally out of somebody's dream. A young man by the name of Michael Crawford, who was a student at Hampton University, decided to create a club team. And in the process of that, as a senior, he went home over winter break and passed away. And his mother picked up where he left off and got the program started. So they began in 2012 as a club team. So I always make sure that when we talk about the foundations of the program, that 2012 is when it was established. And then in 2016, Dr. Harvey decided that we should elevate the program to Division I level of the NCAA. And so we've got two kind of starting points there, 2012 and 2016, but they're both equally important. And I think, again, it's important that we recognize that we are literally living a dream of an HBCU student, and in the process, creating the foundation for others to live out their dreams. So we've got the most unique program in the country. We just recently joined the SoCon, the Southern Conference, along with Mercer, Jacksonville, High Point, VMI. I think that's it. And Richmond. So we're competing at the highest level against some of the best teams in the country, and we're going to keep building this thing, as best we can.
Awesome. So we have another question in the chat, and hopefully you can answer it for us. At least try to give your best response. Do you think all students should try some type of sport, no matter if it's competitive or not?
Yeah, actually, and I think that last piece is important, right? Whether it's competitive or not. I think there's so much that we gain. I've been involved in sports since I was 6, 7 years old. And that involvement, again, I was a football, lacrosse, basketball guy, and loved basketball first, and still love basketball, probably a little more than lacrosse, just barely. But that was important to me, but it opened up, playing different sports opened up different opportunities for me. And when I got to a point where competitive basketball was no longer going to serve me, I was able to fall back on having played lacrosse and had this other opportunity and other experience. And so I think that's the case, whether you're playing competitively or not. Sports will prepare you for different scenarios that you face in life, and they'll open doors for you that you may not have realized were there.
We have another question. I guess it's more personal. What
Sure.
actually drew you to lacrosse?
Sure. What drew me to lacrosse is interesting because it also factors into my present position as the coach at Hampton. So my father grew up in Brooklyn, New York, played football there, and was talked in, and then went to Middlebury to play football, and was talked into playing lacrosse a year by one of his teammates. And so he just kind of fell in love with the game. He didn't play anything professionally. There was no professional lacrosse at the time, but fell in love with the game and became a coach. When we moved to Virginia, I was born in California. When we moved to Virginia, he happened to be passing by a high school where some guys were throwing the lacrosse ball around, and stopped, talked to them, and that ended up resulting in him being a teacher and coach there 17 years, and that's where I learned to play lacrosse.
Awesome. Again, we want to thank you, Coach Woodson, for joining us today for the Ultimate HBCU Experience. If you ever get a chance, if you can drop your email in the chat so that people can, contact you personally for other
Sure.
questions. All right, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So now we're going to transition over to Mr. Drew Johnson of the McNair Program Coordinator. Drew, are you there? I think.
My bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. I know you're probably used to hearing Drew, you're on mute. So,
Yes.
Good deal. So if you can give us a little overview of, your experience as an athlete, as well as what the McNair program is.
So, good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me. My name is Drew. I'm a former student athlete. I played basketball at North Carolina Central University, and currently I work at NCCU. I'm the program coordinator for the McNair Scholars Program, where it's a program designed for first-generation low-income students who are interested in getting their PhD or their master's, and we get them prepared for graduate school. one thing about Central, it's just a great environment. I always tell people, Central owes me nothing, just as far as all the things they opened my eyes to, and they actually empowered me to start my own business. Well, former teammate and I, we actually have our own public speaking company where we travel to university. We speak with student athletes about transitions to life after sports. One of the biggest things is, when I was you all's age, I didn't know too much about HBCUs as far as, what they were. I just saw on TV. I imagine you all's area, Georgetown, Maryland, Virginia, all those schools, being from Raleigh, all you see is Carolina, the Dukes. So I thought, in order, if you really want to be successful as an athlete, you had to get to those schools. Now, the way social media is, the way media is in general, HBCUs are kind of like the hot ticket right now. And so even when I talk to student athletes now, I say, hey, would you rather play at the worst school in the ACC or the worst school in the Big 12 or the Big 10, or would you rather go play for Deion Sanders? Right, because he's at Jackson State, HBCU, a lot of vibe right there. And so that's one thing that we just try to get them to really think about in the development of student athletes. One other thing I just wanted to touch on, I know we had a former student athlete on here earlier, and I know we know as former athletes, the first thing, if I tell you, hey, you're probably not going to make it pro, you're going to stop listening to me right away. There's nothing else I can say that's going to make you try to listen to what I say. So we never go into a space and we tell athletes that. 9 times out of 10, we've never seen that athlete play. So what we do is this. We say, hey, I just want to ask you this. If you have dreams of being a professional athlete, you aspire to be that, we encourage that, go for your dreams. But we do ask, if being a professional athlete is your only sense of happiness, or you think it could be your only sense of purpose, we encourage you to reevaluate some things. And so one thing I try to do, this exercise with student athletes, I say, hey, stand in front of a mirror and describe yourself without using that particular sport, without anything athletics, right? And a lot of times it's kind of like, okay, just to get you thinking about, okay, I might be, compassionate, and I'm family oriented, and that's the piece we try to key in, that and. So don't neglect that and piece as far as you being an athlete. So I'm compassionate, and I'm doing this, and so you're not just one track minded. And that's also the beauty of HBCUs, because we develop those other aspects of you to be that complete person, right? Those transferable skills, those soft skills, to kind of help you get to a place when you get done with university that you're ready to be successful, that you're ready to kind of go out and take on the world. I think it's big that we establish those emotional connections with students. And that's a big thing I'm big on as well. When you meet these students when they're freshmen, you're getting to know them, you're able to see what some of their weaknesses are. So by the time they're a senior, you're able to take those weaknesses and now turn them into strengths. So they're ready to go out and serve the world and just, find their purpose.
Oh, great. So let me ask you, you played basketball. So how was it for you transitioning from high school to collegiate as an athlete?
When I speak to high school athletes, I always ask them, I said, you got rival games? And they're like, yeah, we got this big rival. And I was like, okay, so on that rivalry day, everything is just on a 10, right? Everybody's intense. Everybody's pumped up. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, college, it's like that every day. As far as the intensity, the attention to detail, it's like that every day. So there is no, I'm gonna just, take lax today. I'm just chill today. No, it's full throttle every day. And you have to be prepared for that, because if you're not, I played basketball. He can go find another shooter 10 minutes down the road on my scholarship. So that was the big thing that I had to adjust to immediately.
So how did you manage your time as being a student and a traveling athlete? Because you mentioned you play basketball. So there are times you all may have 2 or 3 games in a week, and you spend a lot of time outside of the classroom. How did you manage that and still making sure that you stayed on top of your grades?
I think it's good that you have good relationships with your professors, right? So you have to let them know ahead of time, hey, I just want to let you know, first day of class, who I am. I do play basketball. We're going to travel a lot, but I'm going to let you know ahead of time the classes I may miss. And that's just standard what they do now anyway. But I will say, when we did travel, we would bring our books with us. Sometimes we had tutors come with us. And so I had the luxury of playing at a PWI and playing at an HBCU. So I know the difference as far as, when you're at a PWI, you're flying to these games. At a HBCU, sometimes you were taking a bus. So you had to just kind of be, HBCUs are the most resourceful people ever. So, I had to make do. Okay, if I had to call somebody to let them know, can you send me the notes? Can you email me? just to make sure I was staying on top of things and wasn't falling behind.
All right, and how was because still was a student, so how did you manage being a student and being social and being an athlete?
So I think you have to take it upon yourself to want to get out there and be outside of that bubble, right? So for me, I actually joined the fraternity once I got to NCCU, mainly because I didn't like that stigma of I'm an athlete, so I have to do this. I have to be with you guys 24 hours a day. And so I wanted to step out there and kind of see what else was out there. And for me, it was really important. I knew that I probably wasn't going to be a professional athlete, just the way I was like, I'm realistic. And so I was like, okay, I need to get out here to these other campus organizations and see what's out there and to see what fits me. And so it's just a matter of, do you want to just be known as that guy who plays basketball or that guy who plays football? For me, I really wanted to see what was out there, see what I could be a part of.
Awesome. So again, Drew, we want to thank you so much for coming in and supporting us with this program called the Ultimate HBCU Experience. If you would like to leave your contact information in the chat, please do so, just in case we get some questions afterwards. We really want to thank you for taking the time out for us on this Saturday morning.
No problem. I appreciate y'all.
All right, thank you. And next, we're going to go over to Nikita Robbins Thompson to talk about supporting students as an academic counselor.
Hi, my name is Nikita Robbins Thompson. I am the Associate Director of Academic Services for Student Athletes here at Delaware State University. So I was asked today to just kind of elaborate about what I do with regard to our student athletes here at Delaware State. And every system is different depending on where you are housed or the university in which you go to. But we are a Division I program. So by the NCAA regulations, we are required to follow the Division I standards. And so what that means is that certain students coming right out of high school have to have a certain criteria. And once you come here to Delaware State, you are assigned an athletic academic advisor as well as a primary advisor. Your primary advisor will focus on your goals to getting to graduation. So what courses you need to take, why you should take them, and the way you should take them, the prerequisite requirements, should you take them your freshman year or your sophomore year, and vice versa. We also monitor that as a way of keeping you on track for graduation. But the unique part about what we do is we monitor your graduation progression as well as the NCAA rules and regulations. So as a student athlete, you have to complete a certain amount of your degree program every year in order to compete. And so we monitor those two benchmarks. The thing about a student that comes to most schools, they have a primary advisor and then they have an athletic advisor. And we essentially support them in any way that we can. We provide technology support where when our student athletes go on the road, they have, hotspots and laptops and tablets so they can do their work on the road. We also have weekly meetings with our student athletes. So in a traditional sense, when you're a student, you come and you actually see and meet your advisor twice a semester or when needed, right? So you can see them as much as you want or as little. Well, with our students, we see them once a week. And that's because with the NCAA rules and regulations, any student that is below 2.59, they're considered at risk. So we have to monitor the at risk. So we work hand in hand with the primary advising unit. We work with the coaches and we work with the faculty, kind of working as a liaison between all of those people, making sure that our students graduate. And that's what's most important. I tell my student athletes all the time, you are student athlete. And so student part of your life is always paramount. And we support and we celebrate your athletic part. But when it comes down to making progress and moving towards graduation, we always keep the student part in mind. Because in order to compete, you have to be academically healthy. And that could vary from institution to institution because it's really based on their policies and what their rules are is academic good standing. But here at Delaware State, in order to be a good student athlete, we want our students to be above a 3.0. But it's just it's a cool job. I like what I do. I think my background is in school counseling. I have a master's degree in education and can work in the K through 12 setting. But most of what I've done has been in higher ed, and I love it. If you ever want to get in contact with me, I'm Nikita Robbins Thompson. I am at Delaware State University. And if you're interested in hearing about Hornet Nation, look me up. Go Hornets. Bye.
Awesome. Hey, you're a part of the ultimate HBCU experience. We're your hosts, Angie and got my man J Rock.
Go HBCU.
That's right. I represent, of course, Howard University. One time for
VSU.
HU, you know. J Rock represents
VSU.
VSU, Virginia State. What's happening? So listen, man, these conversations have been really informative. I hope you're getting a lot out of it. I definitely see the questions continuing to come in. I saw somebody say, what do you think about the stigma about thinking that you have to go to an HBCU because you're Black? And that it reminded me of how I even chose Howard University, because going to a Black school was the last thing I wanted to do coming from Prince George's County, because we know Prince George's County is blackety black. And then there's DC, which was Chocolate City. So I've got two Black parents from DC. I've been raised in black Prince George's County. So in my mind, at 16, I told myself, this is not realistic, and I need to go to a PWI, aka a white institution, right? So I had decided I was going to go to Syracuse University, all the way in New York. And I was like, this is perfect. They have a great journalism program. I knew what I wanted to do, right? So I applied. Syracuse was extremely difficult. I had to write 5 essays. Their GPA requirement was high. Their SAT requirement was high. But I did it anyway because I really wanted to go. Because I was like, if I go to New York, I'm going to get on TV. I'm going to be on MTV. I'm going to be on BET. My life is going to change, right? So I did all that. Guess what? I got into Syracuse. Okay, now I'm excited, right? Only problem, y'all, was I didn't go up to Syracuse. I never visited the school, so I didn't realize that it's not really in New York City. It's in like upstate New York, where there's like a bunch of snow. Now I can't handle the snow in the DMV. So I'm sitting here at my orientation. I got my Orangeman stickers. Yay, Syracuse. And I saw one picture of a student in snow. And the snow was like up to here. So I raised my hand. I said, hey, is this a snow day? And she says, a snow day? She says, no, this is a regular day at Syracuse. I said, oh, no, I'm out. I can't do that. So I did all that trying to go to Syracuse. And ultimately, what made me choose Howard University, which essentially is around the corner and it's a Black school, wasn't the fact that it was a Black school. I never felt obligated to go to a Black school. It comes down to what you talked about, J-Rock, and that's strategy. Okay, if you got a goal in mind and you know what you want to do, or you have any sort of insight into like a network you want to be around, you're not around. I didn't go to Howard because it was a Black school. I went to Howard because it was the best school to put me in position to do what I wanted to do. So always consider, what position are you trying to be in? Because it's not always just about a Black school or a Black experience, although some people do that. I met a lot. I didn't know it was so many Black people that ain't grow up around Black people. Prince George's County, DC, this is a very different place. So I met a lot of people that came to Howard because they wanted a Black experience, because they was raised in all white neighborhoods and all this other stuff. I said, word. And so they came for that. But at the same time, I came for the network. I came for the opportunity, and I came because I knew I wanted to be on the radio in my hometown. So I think that's really important. I don't think there is no, you have to go to this school because you are this way or that way. You go to the school that best fits you, not that best fits your parents, not that best fits your friends, definitely not that best fits your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You want to find the school that's going to best fit you. So I highly encourage you to go visit it, go on campus, check it out, but I just wanted to put that out there because I saw that question. Now, we do have a giveaway. All right, somebody want free stuff. So before we keep this thing moving, we're going to need you guys to interact with us in the chat. Here's the question, and I actually know the answer. Let me see if you know the answer, J-Rock. It says, which Tennessee State graduate overcame polio as a youngster to become a track and field star, winning 3 gold medals at the 1960 Olympics in Rome? That is the question. Go ahead and drop your answers in the
Let's see.
chat.
Drum roll, please.
Do we
Somebody
see
hit
them in the
drum roll.
chat? You got to put your answers in the chat for a chance to win our next HBCU giveaway, okay? Good luck on that one. Once again, I say the question one more time. Which Tennessee State graduate overcame polio as a youngster to become a track and field star, winning 3 gold medals at the 1960 Olympics in Rome? Drop your answers in the chat for a chance to win the next HBCU giveaway. And you see what we're about to talk about next, right, J-Rock?
Oh man, this is exciting. I need to tap in for that next.
Okay. Yeah, we're talking homecoming, and I know you know a lot about that, especially if you were throwing parties and all that, right?
Homecoming, that one homecoming makes the whole year worth it.
Yeah,
The whole year worth it. Like that homecoming gives you the motivation to do all your schoolwork before and after.
That's right. So we talking homecoming next. It's the ultimate HBCU experience. Let's get it.
All right, so welcome back. So, it wouldn't be an HBCU without talking about homecoming. And for us, homecoming is the greatest. My university has the best homecoming known to all of mankind.
Can you repeat that greatest statement one more time?
No.
Because there's only one greatest.
Okay.
Yeah, there is. Sitting over on the left.
Well, you see,
Thank you, Tracy.
You see who has the main mic, so that lets you know who has the best homecoming there is. But so let's talk about that for a second. So, we as alums take homecoming super serious. So, Tracy, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What makes your homecoming quote unquote special?
Oh my goodness. The band. We've got the marching 101 band. We've got the tailgating. So for me, the experience of going back home, getting with folks, having the tailgating experiences, just reminiscing, because I don't know if you've ever seen that little meme where they show you, it's like James Brown the first day looking all really fly. And then by the time you're finished with homecoming, he's like laid out.
Because you got to have that mandatory Monday off.
Yeah, that's the kind of homecoming that South Carolina State University has, okay?
Okay, I hear you. I mean, the good thing about us in homecoming, we all have similar stories as to why. So, Ricky, now here at the little school down in Greensboro, y'all have a little slogan. I don't want to repeat it, but what's your take on y'all little gathering?
Little gathering. Right.
The hate is real. Actually, North Carolina State University has GHO, the greatest homecoming on earth. It's called that for a reason, because it is indeed the greatest homecoming on earth. From day one, Sunday starts off our gospel celebration, and we end it Saturday with the football game and the concert. So every day, it's a ton of events and activities. Alumni come in town the Saturday before homecoming starts and leave the Sunday after homecoming. And it's just, the city of Greensboro actually shuts down for our homecoming. That's how big our homecoming is.
Okay, I hear you. So Brittany, let me ask you, from a student perspective, how was homecoming for you as a college student?
So I think it was interesting to hear Angie's perspective on why she didn't necessarily want to go to HBCU, because I was that kid that went to an all-white high school, and so I didn't even know what homecoming was until I got to go to Hampton University. And so it's supposed to be about the football game, but I didn't actually go to the football game. I went to the parties. They do parties. They do events throughout the week. They have alumni come back. You tailgate. And so from the student perspective, I guess it's like a week of, like they were saying, you got to get all your schoolwork done so you can make sure you can just go to everything that they have to offer during that week. Because it's you don't want to miss anything because you're stuck in class. You really want to make sure you have the best time. And so, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, so I remember being a student, and I was in band, so I couldn't really see a whole lot of homecoming. But I did hear a lot, and we're at practice, so we see everybody walking up the yard, going to the gym for the step show and stuff. One thing that I always wanted to do, just because of me being social on campus, was I always wanted to go to the fashion show, like because you hear about like the months and practices, and the students are like making the clothes and that kind of deal. So, what are some things that y'all looked at, like you as a student, that you was like, I gotta want to go see this?
Step show.
The step show
I
for
think
you?
as a student, you were like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the step show. So that was a big thing for me.
And how was it when you went to the step show though? Like what?
Oh, you loved it. You were there. You were into it. You loved the step show. So I wouldn't say who. Well, on campus when I was in school, I would say the Omegas. They were big on campus. So you'd love to see them step.
Hop in there. Hop in there.
I think for me at A&T, every day was something different. So literally, we would start off with a comedy show, and they would always bring in big name celebrities or comedians for the comedy show. Then we would have Miss A&T's coronation, and to be a part of that, my 4 years I was at A&T was something that I've never experienced before. Like it's a full-on production, and you're in there like you're in practice all week for the coronation of Miss A&T. But the fashion show, hands down, best experience ever.
Yeah.
I love the fashion show, and you just reminded me like the HBCUs are probably the only place where you can get like a concert experience like no other. They will bring every popular artist out to a Hampton homecoming, but but they will bring any HBCU. They'll usually bring the top of the top of that time, and it'll be the biggest lineup, and it's probably the cheapest concert you would go to for that many people.
$20
to see all those people.
Oh, awesome! So as you see, like homecoming for us is a reunion from an alumni perspective. We go out to the tailgate, we socialize, we spend a whole week, and it is a family reunion.
And we also go visit other schools. So don't just think because I went to A&T, I'm only going to A&T's homecoming.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to Central to hang out with Jawan and his crew down there. We're going to road tour. We're going everywhere.
Yeah, it's going to definitely happen. So thank you all. For talking about homecoming. We definitely want to thank our sponsors again. We have AmeriGroup. We also have the Prince George's County Health Department, as well as Player Sports and Apparel.
Choose AmeriGroup Community Care for free or low-cost health benefits for your whole family. With AmeriGroup, you're covered for checkups and prescriptions, plus dental and vision care, even eyeglasses or contacts, all at little to no cost to you from the plan Maryland has trusted for 20 years. The choice is easy. Choose AmeriGroup for your health choice plan now at chooseamerigroup.com/MD.
They say you don't know what you got till it's gone. And now that we graduated from our home by the sea, we've been away for a while. I just got one thing to say. I love my HBCU. I love my HBCU. I love my HBCU. I love my HBCU. You know I gotta rep that QT5 everywhere that I go. Shout out Onyx, shout out Ogre, in the classes I don't know. Spend a portion of my life at my home by the sea. Now I look back on it, got so many memories. That freshman step show with my Pierce Hall brothers. Weekend parties at the Legion, doing moves that shame my mother. DJ Vince at every party, always talking over records. Hampton players doing shows, getting taught by smart professors. There was small cap and big cap, that ticket lady named Yoda. No girls allowed in our dorm rooms, but still we sneak them over. Complaining about our homecoming because the concert artist was whack. But now that we graduated, we can't wait to go back. I'm sitting by the waterfront just to contemplate life, praying weekly at the chapel. You went every week. Right. Them nightly study sessions that you had with your crush. Woo, those good times, I miss them so much. I love my HBCU. I love my HBCU. I love my HBCU. I love my HBCU. I love my Kennedy Queens and BC Cuties. My Davis and Divas. Find me a girl from Twitcher and Chanello's Pizza. And homie, I'm good to go. I've been here since the old student center was still intact. Back when a football team crushed the MEAC. Back when Bullet ran the front gate. Curfew, you better not be late. Mr. Dillard conducted concerts. Street Black Chef shows, they was popping. Where my AKAs at? Where my Q dogs at? Where my alphas? Where my deltas? Kappas, zetas, holla back. But most importantly, yes, we made lifelong friends. A solid bond with people that'll be there for us till the end. Homecoming weekend, it's all love. Don't start no trouble tonight. You ain't too grown to get kicked out. Bye. I love my I love my HBCU. 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 I love my HBCU.
Yeah, man. We want to say thank you to Mr. Taylor again for that another exciting video showcasing the joys of Hampton right there. They love their HIU. Always remember, Hampton, you are the institute. Very cute, though. It's very cute. But you got to love your institute. Now, love it. Embrace it. One time for Hampton. Y'all so cute. There's a little cute school. Very cute school. Very cute homecoming as well.
The shade is there.
I'm just saying. But I did like the song. I love the song. It was cute. Now, there's nothing like the nostalgia of visiting your old stomping grounds. That's one of the things. Once you cross those burning sands and you become an alum of your HBCU, it's very special. Homecoming is very special. It's special when you go there, but it's even more special when you come back. And that's why, like, my mother is a graduate of Howard University, which was another reason I was like, I'm not going here, because I came to every homecoming since I can remember.
And then went there.
And then I ended up going there, yeah. But she really loved going back to Howard, and especially during homecoming season, and she would see all her friends and things like that. So what's one of your most memorable moments, most memorable homecomings, J-Rock?
I think maybe the first or second year I went to college, for me, it wasn't just about one homecoming, it was the homecoming season.
Okay.
Because you get to travel, and people get to travel to your school or to their school, and this is the first time you're around all the people you know that went to another school or that school you went to. You've been around all these other young adults all year, but this is the chance to really get your network on. Family can come, friends can come, other schools can come, and it's just one big thing. And then the alumni is there, so you get to meet older alumni. Maybe they feel like you are young them, and then y'all connect. So it's just expanding that network through homecoming. Like homecoming, they show a lot of partying, doing a lot of different things, the athletic games and stuff like that. But just make sure you gain that network. Like homecoming, I'm going to hit every car with a flyer of mine. I'm before Corona, I'm going to shake every hand.
Right.
You know,
Not so much.
so not now it's more like elbow, but you got to make sure you gain that network all the time in college. Like on your bad day, on your best day, just always gain the network. And I think that was my favorite part of homecoming.
Yeah, networking definitely, because you could probably pick up some jobs, new connections, a business partner, all that, while having a great
Some good
time.
food.
And get some great food. Oh, man.
Everybody's grilling and it's like, you want a plate? Do you want a plate? And you know, in college, you need the good eats.
Facts.
You need all that. Calf get tiring, man.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Now, let's see who's still paying attention out there. Again, thank you for hanging out. For everybody who's been tuned in since 10, much love to you. For those of you that are just joining the Ultimate HBCU experience, we want to send some love to you. We want to thank Amera Group. We want to thank Prince George's, PG Parks, like just showing a lot of love right now. So this has been a really great experience. I know I'm enjoying all the stories and the information, and I see your questions. Keep them coming in the chat. But right now, if you want some HBCU gear, you want free stuff, we need you to answer the final question. What title does a person attain after graduating from an institution? If you know the answer, type it in the chat right now. Again, what title does a person attain after graduating from an institution?
Listen, the answer is in our speech. Because I'm not gonna say too much, but if you was paying attention, she definitely just said something like that.
Yeah, you should have caught it. So good luck with that. Right now, we're gonna check in with our special guest, Rita McGee, who is going to tell us how her HBCU experience helped shape her life after college. You know, it's really important to see life after college. And then we're going to listen to an array of HBCU alum as they explain why they love and chose their HBCU.
Costume design is an art form because it represents the feeling, the character, what's going on. I always look at what this garment and this shape and this pattern and this color and this fabric is saying in this story. What is this person trying to convey in what they're wearing and why? I'm Rita McGee, and I'm a costume designer, and I designed the first season of Empire. I was always fascinated with television and big city and tall buildings because I didn't have that growing up. And so when I went to school, I went to Howard University, and it just opened my eyes to just the industry and fashion, just everything. And Spike Lee would come and lecture at Howard University. But I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to work in film and I want to do clothes. And so I sent my resume to his production company, 40 Acres and a Mule, to his costume designer, Ruth Carter. And I just kept sending it until I got a response. And she was like, do you want to be an intern in the wardrobe department? And I was like, yes. That's how I got in the business. And I learned, she's my mentor today. Working with Ruth and Spike is like a masterclass. I get my notes, I do my presentation on how I see the character, and I talk with the actors as well too. So then I go out and pull. We shop at Bloomingdale's, which is great, high-end designers. I think I also get inspired by things that you would say aren't pretty, but it's the story. Someone on the street, you know, how did they come to that? I look around me, I look what's hot, what's new, what's in style for fashion, music, videos, but I also look to create something as well too. Part of this is my process, coming to a costume house, getting inspired, pulling clothes, and then the big part is doing the research on the character, researching, reading books, and then being observant to people around you, situations and life around you, and really building a strong character. My sister Alita Bailey works with me on just pulling everything together. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Oh, let me take a picture. The wardrobe is a history lesson. Whatever genre, whatever year it is, it's a history lesson. It tells a story. This is a two-piece from 1960. I love the neck on this. This is how you bring it to life. You see it? And then she has the hat. She has the bangles on, the glasses. What? Putting something on, it gives you that feeling. It gives you that confidence and that essence. But it also tells a story. Like who owned it? Who had it? Was it a estate sale? Did it pass away? Did they take it to the Goodwill? Did someone throw it out? Look at the cut. Like this is so Madman. But also like I would make this 2015. Take it in, pencil skirt, great shoes, hat, out of fur. You know, so that's how you just get inspired with everything. Fabulous. Look at that. See the detail? Oh my gosh. Being a costume designer and being able to serve at this level and to just, you know, just being blessed and happy and creating and working on, you know, working in different places, different states, working with my family. I'm very blessed, very grateful, very thankful. Cute. I mean, that, like, seriously, it's fantastic.
Well, good afternoon, Sister Friend. Hello, Keisha. Thank you for
Hello.
joining us.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Great. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes. So, Rita, I know we've known each other a long time, but I think I've never asked you. You grew up in Guam. So, from growing up in Guam, what made you decide to attend Howard University?
Well, thank you all. Good afternoon. My name is Rita McGee. I graduated from Howard University. I'm so proud and so excited to be from Howard University. I grew up on the island of Guam, and I didn't have the opportunity of growing up with Black people. So that was important to me, to grow up with Black people, to have that experience of living in the States. So my first school was Spelman College, and they didn't have my major, so I transferred to Howard, and I loved it. The experience, the people I've met, the networking, I never thought of any other choice but to go to HBCU. It gives you the strength and confidence, and it's an all around great experience because you're with people who understand you, people who are for you, people who will give you connection to the core of who you are. You're not going in there with a battle of always fighting. You're just going in there, I would say, with becoming and knowing more of who you are, and that we are great and creative and resilient and resourceful, and we come with the energy and the swag and the presence and all of that. So it was always my choice. There was never any other choice.
So, in entering and graduating from an HBCU, graduating from Howard University, how do you think it really prepared you in terms of a field in, because Hollywood is a very competitive environment. So, and people don't know, people see you where you're successful now, but they don't know the journey that you had to take to get to where you are. So, do you think part of having that HBCU background helped you or fortified you to be where you are in your career?
100%. It helped me 100% because going to Howard University gives you the strength to, you can work with the small and make it fantastic. The creativity. So it sets you up. It sets you up for success because you go through so many different things and you continue to excel. You don't have to have something all set up for you. You can build to that. And that's what I learned going to HBCU, going to Howard University. When I graduated, and Hollywood is very competitive. When I graduated, I got my first job working with Ruth Carter, who is an Oscar winner, Black woman, won the Oscar for Black Panther. She got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She's a Hampton University graduate. I worked with Spike Lee, who's an Oscar winner as well, Morehouse graduate. So I it was always a great thing, and it sets you up because when you go into Howard, I worked on the fashion shows there. I went to the homecoming. I went to the parties. I saw the step shows, and I saw the comedy and the music. And Black people are so creative, and we work with everything that we have. So yes, it sets you up for success, and it sets you up knowing that you're awesome.
So do you think that, and I know, to me, I think HBCUs, and a good thing about it, on the set, because you know how we met long time ago, do you think that it builds a bond in that people who may not have attended the same HBCU, but are HBCU graduates, that we basically have like a connection?
100%, yes, it builds a bond because we worked on a Spike Lee movie, but because we went to HBCU, it's like a family, a togetherness that you have an understanding of. We got this. I feel it's like that kind of thing. Like we got this. We can work hard. We can be resilient. We can work hard. We can enjoy ourselves. We can learn from each other. When I graduated, the year that I graduated, our yearbook, it was Lift as You Climb. And I feel that way when you meet other people from HBCUs. I've worked with a lot of people from Hampton, from Howard, from FAMU, and there's already like a familiar family. It's already, you already understand that. And so that's the bond that you have going to HBCU.
And one of the things I think a lot of times people, or they may ask, well, do HBCUs still matter? What would you tell someone that might ask you, or they're looking to their career and they're looking, do HBCUs still matter?
HBCUs still matter. HBCUs always matter. And it's because your beautiful life matters. And what's important about that is where you go, where you will feel inspired, and you will feel supported, and you will feel lifted up. And that is what matters all the time. So my beautiful, Black, brilliant life, and all of us at HBCU, it always matters, all the time.
Thank you very much, Rita, for joining us. We appreciate it. Continued success and blessings in your career, honey.
Thank you. Any questions?
I think, were there any more questions? I don't know. I'm not seeing the chat. Can you see any in your chat? No. All right. Well, thank you very much,
Thank
Rita.
you all so very much. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Leslie Dennis, and I am a graduate of the great Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, Florida. What made me decide to choose HBCUs in the first place? I believe that, HBCUs were designed to ensure that we are growing as a community and we are instilling these values that we can carry on for the rest of our lives. Specifically with Bethune-Cookman, the reason why I chose to go was actually my high school guidance counselor, who I am so grateful for. She was actually the one that told me about Bethune in the first place. I really hadn't even heard about it. So she told me to go on YouTube. I looked it up, looked up the marching band, fell in love with the marching band. If you have not seen the Bethune-Cookman Marching Wildcats, you need to check it out. I researched the band, called the director, got my scholarship, and actually was able to have my whole tuition paid. So I walked away with $0 in student loans when I graduated. But just Bethune aside, HBCUs in general, attending one, it was honestly my first opportunity that I had been in an educational institution where I was the majority. all of my prior experiences, I was the minority, and just being at Bethune, it just gave me that sense of community, that sense of pride, the sense of belonging, and it was just so wonderful to see my own friends, colleagues, people who are in class with me, and just excelling, getting awards, getting distinctions, achieving, high up positions, all sorts of things. There are so many HBCUs to choose from, but of course, I highly recommend Bethune-Cookman University. Let's go.
Hampton University is my home by the sea, and I love my HBCU because it is rooted in Black history. We strive for excellence, and I have a family for life.
Greetings. I am a fall 2007 graduate of the illustrious Fayetteville State University. And the reason I love my HBCU is because of the marching band, Greek life, and the family atmosphere it provides, which the motto stands, res non verba, deeds, not words. Choose FSU, where it's all about you.
My name is Diamond Mangra, and I'm a proud December 2020 graduate of the North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, where I double majored in biological engineering and applied mathematics. And truly, I chose my historically Black college and university because I wanted to be a part of an environment that would support me, would push me towards my purpose and success. And that's exactly what I came upon. Specifically, North Carolina A&T State University is known for notable alumni like the A&T 4, who led the lunch counter sit-ins, Jesse Jackson, Dr. Ronald McNair, who was an African-American astronaut, and especially for me, one who's always wanted to be an astronaut since like the 5th grade. Going into the engineering building and seeing that it was named after Dr. Ronald McNair was truly inspiring each and every day. I love my HBCU because it has given me the opportunity to live in sort of like a Black utopia of Black excellence, of Black academia, of Black beauty. And I think that in a society where maybe our culture or our uniqueness or our beauty is not always appreciated as it should be, my historically Black college or my collegiate career gave me the opportunity to literally be immersed in an environment that taught me differently than what society tries to paint us with one brush. I recognized how dynamic where I come from is, the people that are a part of my culture, and how diverse we truly are within ourselves.
Hello everyone, my name is Maxie O'Connor and I hail from the nation's oldest degree-granting university, Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. I love my HBCU because I wasn't just a number. Lincoln has given me the opportunity to learn more about my history as a Black man. I was surrounded by so many different cultures, from California to the West Indies, to Africa, you name it. It helped me think outside the box, and it also helped me prepare for life afterwards, deal with so many different people. I've gained lifelong friends whom I consider family, and every time I come home to Lincoln, it's like I never left. From classmates, professors, administration, you name it, they genuinely cared about us as people.
There you have it. It's the ultimate HBCU experience. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. Angie, Ash, J Rock, man, this has been fun. Everybody, look at all of us repping our HBCUs. We may fight. We may fight on campus, but when it comes to unity, we come together. We will represent together.
All day.
Because it is always HBCU love. I want to shout out the production crew that made this happen today. Thank you guys so much, from everybody operating cameras, audio, computers, floor directors. You guys are awesome, because we need more events like this to expose you. Hopefully you got something out of this. Everybody up here is here for you, to give you more information if you need it, or advice if you need it. And yeah, man, this has been awesome. I appreciate you all for letting me be a part of it. Make sure you check me out on 93.9 WKYS FYI. Keep the girl on the job. Catch me on the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. with the Morning Hustle Show. Okay.
Yeah, and we definitely want to thank you all. It's been a very, very exciting day. We hope that you've learned and figured out a whole lot of information. Again, if you want to know more about our programs, please visit www.pgparks.com for more exciting stuff.
J-Rock, you gotta let them know how to keep up with you, man.
Y'all
Tell
already
us
know
at least
it's
two of the
J-Rock.
businesses.
Listen, Instagram, I bet it buzz, IBetItBuzz.com, TPK, the number 4, THEPPL. Keep up with it. We're in the community all the time. When you see us speak, I'll speak back. If you ever want to make an impact, call us.
Again, thank you all for showing out and coming out today. Again, I'm Juwan Jones, representing North Carolina Central University.
Deborah Savoy, representing the Morgan State University.
Anthony Lindesy, representing Virginia State University.
Tracy Wright, South Carolina State University.
Ricky Levis, representing the largest public HBCU in the nation, North Carolina A&T State University.
Come on, Aggies, exactly. Come on, Aggie pride.
Brittany Lassiter, Hampton University, the standard of excellence, QT7. Woo!
All right, thank you all. I'm sorry. I forgot she was over there quiet. She's normally very vocal.
North Carolina Central University, okay?
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
Again, so thank you all for joining us today. Stay tuned for more exciting programs.
Sponsored by AmeriGroup.